Hi guys, good morning. So, I woke up, well, I went to bed really early because I was so bloody exhausted because there's been so much dark night of the soul mulching going on that I'm fucking running on empty here, and I'm sure that a lot of you out there are as well. And so I went to bed really early and I slept for a bit, and then I woke up, I think it was about 12 o'clock, and I was just lying there, and I felt so bereft and overcome by a sense of utter isolation, aloneness, all alone in the dark. Not a pleasant feeling. And then I became aware of this sense of, well, what am I? What am I? What is this experience we call life, or the world, or reality, or there's all these different words to describe this experience, right? And there's all these people and all these books and all these documentaries and whatnot, and all these gurus and spiritual teachers and fucking courses and whatnot. I mean, it's like a giant fucking supermarket or an airport with all these different gates to all these different destinations. And we go through life accepting all of that and then choosing from that menu, as it were. It's like a menu, isn't it? Right. And defining ourselves based on what we choose from the menu. It's quite a big menu, depending on your level of consciousness. The menu gets bigger and bigger, of course, the more your consciousness grows. But it's still a menu that is given to us from something outside of ourselves, ultimately. And so I was very aware of that, and I'm thinking, so if I discard everything, and it was a moment of nothingness, you know, that sense of the void, the void, that was, everything was there, all the shit that I've been going through since May this year, which has just been horrific, really, because of the nature of what we are all purging and dealing with here. Wow. But that sense of fear, yes, of, oh my God, I'm all alone and I'm in the dark, but also a sense of, okay, this is the void, this is the nothingness. You know, in a never-ending story, the nothing, everybody's terrified of the nothing because it destroys everything. And I actually really like that film, The Never-Ending Story. There's something about that film. You know, the rock people, the giant rock people, well, I think there's a lot of truth in that, as always, right? And, you know, so I'm there, and it just came to me that, you know, if you let go of all these preconceived notions about what reality is and about what I am, and let go of everything that somebody else told me or that somebody else said and I took on as my truth and whatnot, my purpose, my destiny, my identity. If I let go of all of that, literally all of it, right? No more I belong to this group or I'm a member of that fraternity or whatever, but accept myself as, for now, unique, individual and alone. Because one has to be alone, I think. You have to face that aloneness to really tune in to your individuality and your uniqueness and your authenticity as it is, raw and pure, without having been molded by external impetus. Other people's programming, other people's beliefs, you know, I mean, because that's what everybody is doing. oh, I love Eckhart Tolle, or oh, I love Oprah, and oh, someone says this, ergo it's true, and oh, I believe this. I'm a starseed, I'm a light worker. There's so, I mean, God Almighty, the menu is large, and we can choose from it, you know. I'm a Buddhist, I'm whatever, you know, I'm fucking whatever, and I'm the sort of person, see, here again though, I'm the sort of person who says I'm a person, right? Are we people? Are we human? What are we? What are we? What is this? Why are we here? Pivotal fucking questions. We have to be alone for some time in order to face and get in tune with our true uniqueness, our true essence, whatever that might be. And part of that is working through our shadow. Part of that is having these cataclysmic things happen in our life to our health. I mean, my hair's been falling out. I can tell you that really put the knife into my self-esteem and whatnot, because I've been so depressed and I've been through so much stuff that my hair's falling out. This happened 10 years ago when I had my breakdown as well, and so it's kind of like come full circle. Keep seeing circles everywhere with a cross in the middle or a dot in the middle, and then I kept seeing linchpin everywhere. The word linchpin came up everywhere, so I looked that up, and it's this metal thing that you put in the axle of a wheel to keep it all, and again the wheel, you see, the wheel of fortune keeps coming up. It's all pivotal, and it all hinges on truth, the essence. And truth in and of itself sounds somewhat finite, you see, and I get a definite sense of it being the exact opposite of finite, but infinite. That it is not what we think, and it's not even exactly what we feel, that it is so beyond the box. People that say, well, I'd like to think outside the box. No, you're not thinking outside the box. You're just thinking outside a slightly bigger box. And then there's another box. It's like a series of boxes that fit in, like Russian dolls. And when people think they're thinking outside the box, they're not really thinking outside the box. They're thinking outside a box that they previously thought in, but they're now in a slightly bigger box, but they're still thinking in box. We need to learn to think in spirals, man. That's why my channel is called The Kismet, which is Kismet is meant to be destiny. Spiral. The spiral is the road within us. It is our destiny to travel the road within. And that is the hardest of paths. We have to get to a place where we, for a time, feel that we do not belong anywhere, that we are nothing. That perhaps the essence of our experience, such as it is here, has brought us such pain, such suffering, such horrific fear and terror, and it's beyond words. It's eviscerating. It rips your bowels to shreds. There's a lot of us who have problems with our stomach because everything is so gut-wrenchingly awful. Yeah, I was watching a mini-series, it's very good actually, but where these poor horses were literally worked to death in the mines until they dropped out of exhaustion. And that really cuts me up, and when I see that type of shit, or when I see people ads for, do you have any dogs or cats that you don't want, and then they sell them to these fighting rings or to laboratories, and these poor animals having very little self-determination are basically trapped and abused and murdered. And the same thing happens to us. It happens to children all the time. It happens to us in this realm of shadows where, yes, there is love, there is courage, there is creativity, there is beauty, there is all kinds of goodness, but oh boy, the darkness is here. And part of our journey here is for Phoenix people. Anyway, it's not for everyone. No, it's not for everyone at all. But it is for Phoenix people, is to experience this this wounding, this trauma to such an extent, because we are here to understand the nature of evil, because we are here to heal it in some way. And you cannot heal that which you do not know. You have to know the nature of the trauma, of the wound, of the evil, and you know, we have to understand it. And hence we went through experiences that were so excruciatingly painful to our psyche, to our bodies, to our cells, to our energy, that it nearly fucking well destroyed us. And now, when we are in a so-called, again somebody else's terminology, but dark night of the soul, we are revisiting and reliving all of that, and it is so painful. It is so incredibly painful. And we are so incredible, aren't we, for doing that? We've been made to feel so small and insignificant and powerless. We completely don't see ourselves at all, you know. We still live with that, oh, I'm nothing, I'm shit. Then in fact we are fucking warriors of the light. We are incredible. We are more than this thing called a human being. We are so way beyond that. It behoves us to, for a time, suspend all beliefs and all belonging to groups or spiritual beliefs or ways of doing things or whatever it is, to disentangle from that, to become our own true essence. I mean, ask yourself, what are you? Are you a soul? Are you a human being? Is this real? Are you real? Where did you come from? Where are you going? Why are you here? What is here? That is what we need to do, you see. We need to ask questions all the time, and we need to be open to the answers. Even if they terrify us, we need to be completely open. And we need to enter that void, not just the once, but over and over and over again. And then slip back into our identity and do identity things and whatever. It's all part of this experience, this quest. I had an acute sense as well of another place. Perhaps how this world was before the fall, and how beautiful and whole. Now, that is impossible to put into words, but I felt it acutely, that the wholeness of it, the crystalline tranquility, the flow, the effervescent beauty of it all. The trees were flowing, they were alive, everything was connected, and there was no need for us to use somebody else to get something done, because the minute we could imagine something, we could simply bring it into being. There was no struggle of any kind. It is the magical realm that some of us remember having been in, having lived in. And then something happens, the fall, and the world, by degrees, of course, through a series of dark resets, Mandela effect style, presumably, became like this. Very dark indeed. Now, I could be completely wrong, because, hey, you know, I'm just me. I don't actually know exactly what I am. When I say I'm a warrior of light, I am motivated by love. So that is what I mean by that, really. Because I sense deeply that only love can sort this shit out. But love in and of itself is just a word. So again, we have to ask ourselves, what is love? What does it mean to me? Again, you know. But only love can sort this shit out. Only love can heal the sickness that is evil. And so first we have to know evil. We have to know it in and out. We have to know it within ourselves. Then we have to know it as it has treated us, what it has done to us, the trauma, the wounding, the screaming in terror in the night, trauma, the evisceration of our psyche where we don't know anything, which that leads into that state of, okay, so I know this horrendous fear and pain, but I also know love. I know that I can choose, even though I feel all of that, I can choose to love myself. I can be 2 people, I can be 10 people in one person and love myself and say, you know what? I don't know where this is going. I'm not sure I know what this is or what I am. But I know this. I choose here and now to love myself. Because I feel that I am precious, you know. I have compassion. I have courage. Here I am, still standing firm, and all around me people are literally losing the plot. And yes, we're losing the plot, but you see, we are getting saner, you see. You have to go insane to be sane in this world. So, and yes, become nothing, it's alright, you know, fuck it. I don't give a fuck about Eckhart Tolle or Oprah. I don't care about what anybody believes or what anybody wants to do or what anybody wants to belong to bolster their sense of safety or security. I don't belong anywhere, and yet I belong everywhere. And I think it's like that for us Phoenix people. Your cup has to be empty. We're not going anywhere, we're not getting anywhere if our cups are full. Our cups have to be empty, they have to be completely emptied out. And as difficult as all this is, I sense the meaning. It's so easy to get lost in the dark. Oh man. But every time we get lost in the dark, we find our way out. And every time we find our way out, we have gained more strength. We have gained more power. We have gained more insight. We have gained more mojo, more fertilizer, more oomph. That is power. You know, that is power, people. That is power. That is the power of the alchemist that the magician will utilize. Mastery. Can you hear the crow? I love crows. The crow today is saying to us that nothing is what it appears to be at all. And all these illusions that we've been clinging to so ferociously because we've been so afraid. Well, it's time to let it go, people. It's time to let it go. We belong nowhere, and yet we belong everywhere. If you want to join a group and believe what they all believe, then go ahead, do that, experience that for a bit. You know, why not? I did that. It's cool. Then you get to a point where you think, you know what? Fuck that shit. Who am I? I am alone for a while. Well, that's good. I don't believe anything. I don't actually know anything. That terrifies me. But hey, let's go into that. Why not? And the very fact that I'm telling you all this and talking about this and I'm doing this myself should prove something to us all. There is love. Because that is a kind of freedom to have those choices, to walk those paths. Yeah? Evil wouldn't like that, you see. Evil doesn't like that at all. Evil likes to restrict, subdue, choke. Love does the exact opposite every fucking time. But love is not pretty pink. Love is not a fucking Disney princess, yeah? Love is fucking fire, Kali. It will put you through the forge. It will put you to the test. It's like, you know, the shaman in these indigenous cultures, in the rainforest, whatever, they see that 2-year-old little boy and they see he's a bit weird and a bit special. And they take that little boy away from his parents, They say, right, you're coming with us. And that kid is not going to be mollycoddled. It's not going to be fat on bloody dainties and be, oh, sweetie. No. These children are taken through some seriously grueling, tortuous initiations in order to get to the crystalline essence of self, or not. And I bet you any money the best shamans, the best medicine men and women are those who have really, really been on their fucking knees begging for mercy, because it's only then that you find something worth finding, I feel. So yeah, today I'm at this point where I don't know what I am. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is, why I am, why anything. And I feel the fear, and I'm worried, and I've had loads of rage coming up and self-hate coming up, and I just scream and I do my thing and I let it up and out, and I'm with it, and I love myself. Because that, in all this nothingness, is a constant for me, is love. Love is a choice. It's an intention to say I am here now or not. And I love myself. People can let you down. People can cut you loose right in the middle of the darkness. And you'll hate them for it, but you'll thank them for it later. Because that's when you really start to find yourself. Because you're not that identity. You find yourself in the darkness because when you are that tested, when you are that severely tested, it's when your true self emerges. That's when your true self truly emerges. And even then you won't be able to see it for a while, because your shadow will still be there saying, I'm so worthless, I'm so shit, I'm so powerless. That very uncomfortable comfort zone. Yes, I know, people, it's complex, isn't it? And it's evil that's made it complex, because people get lost in the complexity. I think ultimately we'll find that it's actually very simple. Well, anyway, I think I'll call it a day there. All my love to you all. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, you're not alone. You're doing so much better than you think you do, believe me, I know that. And you're so, so precious. Remember that. Love yourself.